Right now, matcha is taking the world by storm. Everywhere you turn, there's matcha-flavored ice cream, matcha-flavored this, matcha-flavored that. The thing is, on the keto diet, we can't enjoy a lot of these matcha treats simply because they have too much sugar in them. But matcha is something that is super, super powerful on a ketogenic diet simply because of not only all the antioxidant compounds that are in it, but also its ability to slow down gut motility to ultimately make you full a little bit longer, thereby helping you out when it comes down to your body composition goals. So what I've got for you here is a drinkable fat bomb. I'm not gonna have you drink a gallon of coconut oil, but I'm gonna have you drink something that is super tasty that not only utilizes matcha, but utilizes a really cool new trick that's been backed by science to improve the bioavailability of matcha and help that matcha do its trick within your body. So all I've got in front of me are a few simple ingredients. This is literally gonna be one of the easiest recipes that I've ever put together. Okay, so all I've got to start is some good old-fashioned light coconut milk. I'm using it from the can, and I'm gonna use this whole can or close to it. Normally, I'm using a carton of almond milk or a carton of coconut milk. In this case, I wanna go with the higher fat stuff, but I'm using the light coconut milk. So make sure when you're looking at the grocery store, you get the one that says light, not the one that is thick. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with way too many calories, and you're gonna have a hard time even getting it out of the can. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take just enough to fill up this cup, maybe a little over halfway. See how it's thick, but not super, super thick. This way we're getting the medium chain triglycerides from the fat that's in it, but we're not totally loading ourselves with like 400 calories or more simply from coconut milk. We're gonna get maybe a couple hundred calories from this, just enough to give us some energy on the ketogenic diet. Okay, then when it comes down to matcha, I wanna talk about matcha for just a second. Matcha is obviously powerful because we have the epigallocatechin 3-galate, which is also known as EGCG. That's all great. That has super powerful antioxidant compounds in it that can slow down what is called lipid peroxidation. Lipid peroxidation is where we're taking fats that aren't used in the body and oxidizing them, turning them into poison. Let me give you an example. Have you ever left fish oil out on the counter? Or have you ever cut fish and then come back maybe half an hour later and it just reeks horribly? Or have you ever taken a fish oil pill and found that when you burp, it tastes pretty rancid? Well, that's because those fats are oxidized. Same thing happens inside your body. Okay? So if you're consuming any kind of fats and they're not getting utilized properly, they can go rancid in your body. So that's exactly why we want to be able to utilize the power of matcha and the antioxidants to slow down that lipid peroxidation. But the other thing we want to talk about is something known as cholecystokinin, CCK. CCK is a hormone that slows down your gut motility. So all that simply means is it slows down the rate at which your small intestine is churning for a little bit. This means that you're going to stay satiated for a while longer. It means that when you drink this drink, when you combine the fats from the coconut milk and then of course the CCK boost from the matcha, you're going to find that you don't even want to eat. It's a good replacement for bulletproof coffee. Now of course I use 4-sigmatic matcha simply because A, it tastes the best, but B, it also has that lion's mane in it, which gives you an extra brain boost. They're a huge sponsor of this channel, and I know some of you don't like whenever I do product touts, but I have to be honest, if it wasn't for them, I don't know if this channel would be possible. It's the sponsors that make this channel possible, and I really appreciate that. So my link for the discount for Lion's Mane Matcha is down below in the description. Okay, and then I've got a teaspoon here. I'm gonna do 2 level teaspoons. You don't have to go overboard on this stuff. In fact, you don't even have to use this much, but I really like the stuff, and I like the little caffeine kick that I get from it too. And that's the other benefit you get out of this. You get a nice caffeine kick, but without the crash that you would ordinarily get from coffee because the antioxidants actually support the clean burning of the caffeine a little bit better. Then I've got the wild card here. I've got lemons. Why the heck would I be mixing lemons with a drink that is kind of milky and weird? That just doesn't make sense, right? Well, it does make sense because there was actually a study recently that found that citrus supports the bioavailability of green tea. You see, the study was published in the Journal of Molecular Nutrition and Health, and it found that normally green tea only had about a 20% bioavailability rate within the body, meaning most of it got broken down. Green tea is so awesome, but it is so fragile. So when it goes inside your body, it reacts with different things. And at the end of the day, you're only getting about 20% of the antioxidant benefit. Well, this study that was published in the Journal of Molecular Nutrition and Health found that by simply adding some citrus to the mix, we can increase that from 20% to 80%, meaning we just boosted our ability to reduce lipid peroxidation in the body by 60%. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I don't get these seeds in here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add just, I still got some seeds anyway, uh-oh. I'm going to go ahead and add the juice of about a half a lemon. Okay. Then lastly, I've got some monk fruit. Now, this is kind of the wild card. You can add as much as you like to make it sweeter or make it less sweet, whatever you like. Now, I'm using monk fruit this time instead of stevia, simply because I like the anti-inflammatory components of monk fruit in this case. You see, it's been found recently that the moghrosides that are found in monk fruit are COX-2 inhibitors. What that means is it slows down the production of what is called the cyclooxygenase enzyme 2. We have two of those, COX-1 and COX-2. But COX-2 directly affects inflammation that's in our joints. If you ever take an aspirin or an ibuprofen, those are COX inhibitors, meaning they stop the production of cyclooxygenase so you don't have inflammation in your joints, i.e. anti-inflammatories. Well, the moghrosides in monk fruit are COX-2 inhibitors. Now, I used to wonder how come whenever I used monk fruit, I would actually feel a little bit better. I would feel like my joints didn't hurt as much. Well, literally, it has that effect on your body. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some in here. And like that, we're in business. Just a couple of ingredients. So you can whip this up in a magic bullet, you can whip it up with a little blender like this, or you can just throw it in a shaker cup over some ice. Honestly, that's all it takes. We're gonna have about 250 to 300 calories in this, depending on the coconut milk, and it's gonna be a fat bomb that's gonna change how your body utilizes fuel, but more importantly, it's gonna change your appetite for the rest of the day. So that's all there is to it. So again, big thank you to Four Sigmatic and their Lion's Mane matcha. You can get that matcha down below in the description by clicking the link and get a special discount on it. But otherwise, you can pick up these simple ingredients at the grocery store and be making this drink for just a couple of bucks. As always, keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.